Welcome to Smart Remarks. Welcome to America, where we really do seem to love our guns more than we love our children. So remember Sandy Hook? It's only been a couple of months, but we have a national attention span of about 3 seconds, so we shouldn't be surprised that the legislation that is going to be passed in the wake of this massacre is now being watered down beyond all recognition. Earlier this week, Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid said that the assault weapons ban was not going to pass the full Senate, so it's going to be dropped from whatever legislation ultimately makes it to the full Senate. It looks like the limit on magazine capacity is also going to be dropped, and there have been suggestions since then that if all these things happen, then universal background checks could also go away because the NRA fiercely opposes it. So do you really think that moderate Republicans and conservative Democrats are going to support it? And so, as a result, what we will get is nothing. We will get more federal support for school safety, whatever that's supposed to mean, and we'll have tougher laws against firearms trafficking. But look, up in Sandy Hook, those arms weren't trafficked. They were owned by a mother who's now dead of a psychotic, murderous son who used them to massacre children. How does this legislation prevent another recurrence? We have now come to the point as a nation where we are unwilling and as such unable to respond to the slaughter of innocence. And it really just feels like a tipping point. Now, thankfully, not all the states are hamstrung by the NRA and the pro-gun folks. Earlier this week, Colorado passed some sweeping legislation that requires background checks for all private and online gun sales and bans magazines holding more than 15 rounds. Conservatives were outraged! But, of course, Colorado is home to Columbine, and common sense prevailed there over the outrage. So if there's hope, there's only hope at the state level, and then only in places where common sense progressives or Democrats outnumber NRA-backed conservatives. In states where NRA-backed conservatives rule the roost, you're going to have the answer be what the NRA's answer is, and I'm quoting here from their website, quote, "Swift and certain prosecution of violent criminals, securing our schools, and fixing our broken mental health system." Really. Over the weekend, I read a piece in the New York Times about women who have been killed, shot, by their ex-husbands and ex-boyfriends, murder-suicides. These were guys who had PFAs taken out against them, but were nonetheless allowed to keep their guns. And I have to say, my first thought on reading the story was, I wonder how many of these guys were big, "Don't tread on me, Second Amendment" types. And my second thought was, I wonder how many of the guns they used were trafficked, or how many of them were purchased and owned legally. But wait, according to the NRA, the answer here is swift and certain prosecution of violent criminals who have already killed themselves. And let's fix our broken mental health system. Well, I'm all in favor of that, but what's that going to cost? I thought we had a problem now with federal spending. Where's the money going to come from? Or maybe we can just transfer money from another program like the military, right? In response to the massacre of innocents, a responsible nation would step up to the plate and do something. We are proving to not be a responsible nation. We are instead an outraged nation, a nation that loves its guns. And you see why, because you never know when you might want to use it.